anime that makes you smarter without you noticing. Have you ever finished an anime episode and thought, wait, did I just learn something? Yeah, me too. You sit down for some casual escapism, and 5 episodes later, you're questioning free will, rewriting your worldview, and Googling quantum mechanics like you're suddenly a physicist. Welcome to the secret classroom of anime, where the animation is wild, the characters are dramatic, and the lessons sneak up on you like a ninja in a philosophy textbook. Let's talk about how anime secretly makes you smarter. Without flashcards, without exams, just pure brain fuel hidden in explosions and emotions. Let's start with Steins Gate. You think you're watching a sci-fi about time travel and microwave bananas, but what you're actually doing is getting a crash course in causality, world lines, and the butterfly effect. The show drops terms like CERN, D-mail, reading Steiner, and pretends like those aren't completely insane words, and you just roll with it. Suddenly you're understanding divergent timelines and the terrifying idea that changing one text message can doom the world. But here's the wild part, it doesn't feel like homework. It feels like you're on this ride with Okabe, laughing at his mad scientist rants 1 second, and then sobbing the next because, yeah, time is cruel. And then it hits you, the show never paused to teach you. It let you figure it out. And that, my friend, is clever storytelling. It's also how learning sticks. Death Parade. Oh, this one hits differently. Imagine watching a bar where dead people are judged through bowling, darts, and air hockey. Sounds fun, right? But under all that neon and those gorgeous animations is a raw, brutal exploration of morality. Who's right? Who's wrong? Is it okay to lie if it saves someone? What if the truth hurts more? The show doesn't give you answers, it gives you mirrors. It shows you people at their lowest, and dares you to judge them only to twist your perspective the next scene. You're not just watching, you're thinking, feeling, reflecting, and maybe, just maybe, you leave the episode wondering about your own choices. That's education, not the school kind, the soul kind. No, let's talk Psycho-Pass. I know, the first few episodes feel like just another cyberpunk detective show with cool guns and edgy villains, but then boom, it slaps you with questions like, is it okay to arrest people for crimes they haven't committed yet? What even is free will in a world where everything is measured, even your mental state? And that's when you realize this anime is basically a philosophy class with explosions. You get references to Rousseau, Plato, and Bentham. You learn about utilitarianism without opening a textbook. And somehow, it makes sense. It's terrifying and beautiful and makes your brain hurt in the best way. Also, side note, if your anime villain is quoting classical philosophers while blowing things up, he's not just evil, he's teaching you. Another gem, the Tatami Galaxy. Now this one is fast, like, I had to rewatch 3 times fast. But beneath the rapid-fire monologues and trippy visuals, it's an entire thesis on the paralysis of choice. Every episode shows a different version of the same character's college life based on one small decision. You start to realize that no matter what path he picks, literature club, tennis, secret cult, the outcome isn't just about the choice, it's about how he lives it. That's existential is wrapped in neon colors and ramen. It's hilarious, yes, but also deeply, weirdly wise. It makes you reflect on your own life, the what-ifs, the should-haves, the could-bes, and just like that, you're not just watching, you're living inside the idea. Now let's switch gears a bit. Dr. Stone, you thought I wasn't going to bring up the science anime? Come on, Dr. Stone makes chemistry cool. Like, actually cool. It takes real science like making glass, soap, and electricity, and turns it into shonen-level hype. Senku doesn't just yell about friendship, he yells about the molecular structure of sulfuric acid. And the best part, it's accurate. You start learning how to make antibiotics in a cave, how magnets work, and how to rebuild civilization from scratch. This anime is a literal STEM commercial, and you love it. You don't even notice you're learning because the stakes are emotional. Science becomes the hero, curiosity becomes the weapon, and your brain completely hijacked in the best way. Now let's talk about Paranoia Agent. This one hits weird, disturbing, confusing, brilliant. On the surface, it's a story about a kid with a bat attacking people. But deeper, it's about how society handles stress, trauma, and fear. Each episode is a case study in psychology. It peels back the mental defenses of everyday people, the lies they tell themselves, the pressure they carry, the things they hide, and as you try to piece it all together, your brain starts drawing connections. You become more aware of people, of how they work, of how you work. No big lectures, just surreal images, haunting music, and the realization that you're learning to see beneath the surface of things. Anime is sneaky like that. And then we have Monster. This isn't your flashy shonen with screaming and energy blasts. This is a slow burn, a psychological chess match between a doctor and a boy who grew into a monster. And what you learn here, patience, human behavior, morality, and gray zones. Monster doesn't rush, it lets you sit in uncomfortable silence. It dares you to question justice, Are you good because you want to be, or because you want to feel like a good person? And slowly, quietly, it teaches you to listen, to notice, to observe. That's not just smart. That's grown-up intelligence, emotional intelligence. Okay, let's step into something more magical now. Made in Abyss. Yes, it looks cute, yes, the music is beautiful. But this show is ruthless. It hides heavy themes inside adorable character designs. You learn about survival, trauma, sacrifice, not in a dry, preachy way, in a visceral, unforgettable way. It challenges your emotions and your ethics. You begin to realize things aren't black and white down in the abyss. And the farther the characters descend, the more you think, what would I do? What would I give up? Who would I become? That kind of inner questioning, that's critical thinking, and no classroom is going to hit you that hard, that fast. Now let's zoom out for a second. Why does anime do this? Why is it such a good sneaky teacher? Because it cares about feelings. And when you care about the characters, really care, you listen, you want to understand, and understanding is the beginning of learning. That's why you remember what Steins said about timelines, but you forget half of what your science teacher told you in school. That's why you feel death grades morality more than 100 lectures on ethics. It's not about facts, it's about connection. When anime tells a story, it builds a bridge between you and an idea. And once you're on that bridge, you start walking, you start exploring. You start becoming curious, and boom, you're learning. No one had to force it. No homework, no quizzes, just curiosity and vibes. Now, is every anime smart? No, let's be real. Some are just explosions, fan service, and chaos. But even then, sometimes a single scene, a single line can make you stop and think. Because anime at its core is about people, their dreams, their fears, their choices. And if you're paying attention, really paying attention, you'll find wisdom tucked between the jokes and the battles. Sometimes in the silence before a fight. Sometimes in a villain's monologue. Sometimes in the quiet look between two friends. And that's the magic. You came for entertainment. You left with ideas. So next time you binge something and feel a little bit smarter after, don't be surprised. Your brain's been working out this whole time. No textbooks, no teachers, just stories, smart ones that don't act like they're smart. And maybe that's the smartest kind of teaching of all.